There is less than a month to go for the presidential election, and the race to the White House still appears to be deadlocked. But an unexpected twist could upend the campaign in the final weeks. October surprise is something that has terrified presidential candidates for decades. In 1980, when Jimmy Carter could not get the Iranian hostages released, he lost the polls to Ronald Reagan. This was seen as an October surprise. In 2016, then FBI Director James Comey's decision to re-examine Hillary Clinton's emails were dubbed as an October surprise. So when it comes to Kamala Harris and Donald Trump, what October surprise could be in store for them? The first is literally a stormy one. Hurricane Helene tore through two key electoral battlegrounds last week, Georgia and North Carolina. With more than 200 dead, the humanitarian disaster has become a big political issue. Both Georgia and North Carolina are must-win states for Donald Trump. And polls indicate a dead heat as of now.
Well, thank you very much, everybody, for being here. It's an honor. Hurricane Helene turned out to be a big one, like about the biggest that anyone's seen.
While visiting Georgia, the former president took a swipe at the Biden administration, claiming that Americans were losing out on emergency relief money because it had been spent on migrants.
A lot of the money that was supposed to go to Georgia and supposed to go to North Carolina and all of the others is going and has gone already. It's been gone for people that came into the country illegally, and nobody's ever seen anything like that. That's a shame.
Kamala Harris also met those affected by the storm in North Carolina and Georgia and pledged long-term aid. She also criticized Trump for spreading falsehoods about the federal response to Hurricane Helene.
People are in desperate need of support right now, and playing political games with this moment in these crisis situations, these are the height of emergency situations, is just utterly irresponsible, and it is selfish, and it is about political gamesmanship instead of doing the job that you took an oath to do, which is to put the people first.
The escalation in the Middle East continues to cast a shadow on US politics. The Gaza war is in danger of expanding into a wider regional conflict as Israeli forces fought Hezbollah in southern Lebanon and Iran launched hundreds of missiles at Israel. While Harris is presenting herself as a candidate of change when it comes to policies on Israel, she's mirroring Biden's.
I will always ensure Israel has the ability to defend itself against Iran and Iran-backed terrorist militias. My commitment to the security of Israel is unwavering. And let us be clear, Iran is not only a threat to Israel, Iran is also a threat to American personnel in the region, American interests, and innocent civilians across the region who suffer at the hands of Iran-based and backed terrorist proxies.
And such a stance comes with risks, especially for two key segments of the Democratic base: Arab Americans in the must-win state of Michigan and young voters on campuses where anti-war protests could flare up again. Trump, on the other hand, has urged Israel to target Iran's nuclear facilities in response to Tehran's recent missile barrage.
They asked him, what do you think about Iran? Would you hit Iran? And he goes, as long as they don't hit the nuclear stuff. That's the thing you want to hit, right? I said, I think he's got that one wrong. Isn't that what you're supposed to hit? I mean, it's the biggest risk we have. Nuclear weapons, the power of nuclear weapons, the power of weaponry. You know, I rebuilt the entire military, jets, everything. I built it, including nuclear, and I hated to build the nuclear, but I got to know firsthand the power of that stuff, and I'll tell you what, we have to be totally prepared. We have to be absolutely prepared. But when they asked him that question, the answer should have been, hit the nuclear first and worry about the rest later. And that's what they should. If they're going to do it.
Trump has repeatedly touted himself as pro-Israel and claimed that the Gaza war would never have happened if he was the president. October surprise could also spell bad news for Trump. His conduct during the January 6 attack on the US Capitol has once again come back into focus after a federal judge released a document from Special Counsel Jack Smith outlining his case and evidence against Donald Trump for trying to overturn the 2020 election result. The document, which argued that the former president should not be given presidential immunity from prosecution, contained new details about Trump's words and actions leading up to the Capitol riot by his supporters. A recent CNN poll shows that voters favor Harris over Trump when it comes to protecting democracy. So anything that renews attention on the chaotic final weeks of Trump's presidency in 2020 could be to the Democrats' advantage. This election has been full of twists and turns, from one candidate surviving 2 assassination attempts and being convicted of a crime, to another dropping out of the race to make way for his much younger vice president. Yet the electorate is divided right down to the middle, and a difference of a percentage point or 2 could be decisive for either Trump or Harris. The final leg of the race could make all the difference.